LegacyMaker, the all sports network.
This is it. This is for all the chips. Work for championships. No, it gets no better than this. Just sit and relax a bit. We're talking the pass and blitz. We're talking the jump and switch. We're talking the pitch and miss. Clean space, kick space. You come to the right place. Deep bait. I don't need to see other shows. I'm straight. Cause they're not impressing me. I tune into Legacy. Legacy. Fourth and goal and on the road. Legacy. Down 3 seconds to go. Legacy. 2 out, bases loaded. Legacy. It's not a mystery, you're tuning to Legacy. Check the flag on the final lap. Legacy. 12th round, who gets in the match? Legacy. You want a legacy. You build a legacy. Broadcasting live right now so the whole world can see.
Now, the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We about to get this bad boy started.
Here are your hosts, Darrell, Owens, and Jay Quimby.
What it do? How you doing, everybody? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 290 of the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast here on the LegacyMaker Sports.
Wasn't 290 last month ago?
No, we'll see. At the beginning of January, before we went on Legacy on Fire Streak, we was at 289. So we're 10 away. 10 away. Becca's in there. Hey, y'all, racing is back this weekend. She is excited.
Yes, on the world's smallest track with no slope. So, and if they get in a wreck, it'll be a touchdown.
Right. Once again, everybody, thank y'all all for tuning in. We truly appreciate y'all being here with us as we bring you another episode of the podcast. We got a lot to get into. It's been a very interesting month, since the last couple of weeks since we've been on. Obviously, we've been doing Legacy on Fire. I've been bringing the heat on there, and then now me and Jay are back to give you we're going to give you our awards today, like who we decide do we think should be MVP and Player of the Year and all that fun stuff. We're going to be doing that today. We also got to discuss some hot topics that are going on in the NFL right now. We got an action-packed hour, of sports talk at the top of the hour.
Just a reminder, you got to keep it at an hour because you got another show.
Yeah, we got another show at the LegacyMaker Sports News Update, bringing on Wale, and our scoop from Fox Sports 1340, Andrew Willingham here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. So we'll bring you that to talk Washington Commanders, which we're also going to talk about on here as well. So we're going to get into all that today. Once again, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. But let's go ahead and get into it. We mentioned the old, as this is just what some fans are calling the commies, the Washington. That's what the fans are calling them. That's the nickname. Hashtag take command. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Washington football team, now known as the Washington Commanders. We've been hearing the links for months. We've been hearing people talk about, what it was going to be, why is it going to be this, and that, but this is it. This is what it is. It's the Washington Commanders. They are here to stay. Jay, I want your early thoughts on this. I mean, we both had our own thoughts on what the name probably should have been, but give me your thoughts on this as we talk about the Washington Commanders.
I mean, some of the uniform designs are pretty cool, but I agree with you on the blackout uniform. I think it's great, except for the W on the helmet. Now, the W on the helmet makes me think that they're gonna sign Jameis Winston in the offseason. Eat the W's, bro. Eat the W's.
Yeah. I looked at the jersey. I like the red. The red jersey is solid. I mean, all the jerseys are solid. The one problem that I have with the white jersey is that it feels like a lot of people say it looks like an Arizona Cardinals jersey. And it's not even that for me. I think that the red seems a little bit lighter than the red on the other jersey. Like, I feel like it should be a deeper red. I don't know. Maybe that's just at first glance. I'm not for sure. I do not like the W in the middle of the helmet on the black ones. I feel like it should be in the back of the helmet, but it is different. And this Washington I get used to saying another name, the Washington Commanders. But we've had how many name changes in the NFL we've had in the last 4 or 5 years?
The thing I really think the reason they changed the crimson color excuse me, is the fact that dealing with what the name the Redskins means,
Mhm.
they lightened it that way so it wasn't so close to the skin color.
Yeah, and I didn't have that. It was just, I mean, but the jersey, the red that's on the main red jersey looks perfect. Like I'm like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
It just feels a little bit off, and maybe it's just
Right.
the lighting I saw on there. Now, the name as a whole, I mean, a lot of people are
Dude,
like, this is a
dumb
dumb
as hell.
name, the dumb name. I've said this and I've said it on a couple of shows. Like, my whole thing is, if they win, they're not going to care. Look, when they won the NFC East last year, all you kept hearing is, "Man, we might as well keep the Washington football team." Why? Because we're doing well with it, and so they won the division. They were happy. Now it's like
they didn't do bad this year either.
Yeah, I mean, they had, let's say the record was a little off, but I mean, you look at this team as a whole, and we've talked about like how this franchise is. It feels like they're always a step behind on something, and I don't know why it feels that way. But
Pops
it just
is watching. What's up, Dad?
What's up, Pops? How you doing today, my man? Hope everything is going well, man. Hope you're feeling good.
Oh, I'm pissed off at him, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. Don't be too mad at me.
It's his heart stuff is kind of taking a step back, but he'll be all right.
He'll be all right. He's tough. You're a tough one, Pops. You're a tough one. I just look at this team and it's like, I think the biggest thing for them in the offseason will be them trying to figure out what they're going to do at the quarterback position, because it's important. They've got to get a veteran presence on that team, a good veteran, not like no middle of the road guy. They need
right now. They have I don't know. They haven't released him, so they have the oldest quarterback in the league now on their team.
That is true. Yeah, I fully expect him to retire. Fully expect him to retire in the next
hip
couple
stuff.
of weeks.
I understand. Yeah.
That hip injury thing is no joke. And Jay, like you said, firsthand what that hip stuff is all about. So this team, I don't want to give them too much crap yet. I'm trying to be nice and give them
That's why I was laughing.
That's funny. That's funny, G. That's funny. I got to get this. Is funny. G says that Marion County High School can win the NFC East these days, and we got a shot. We got a shot, and I feel really confident in that. I mean, maybe we'll be able to pull it off.
I guess the thing I found a little bit of humor in is 3 of the 4 people that modeled the New Jerseys were Ohio State Buckeyes.
See, I mean but like I said, I feel like the jerseys as a whole, if I had to look at them, I'm like, I would give them a solid 8. I give them a solid 8. I wouldn't go no higher than that. What do you said? 25? 7. Okay, yeah, I can deal with that. The black jerseys by far the nicest. I like how they got the little military thing going on this. I love that.
But I agree that W on the helmet just looks way out of place, bro.
It just feels weird. Like, I told somebody they should have kept either the same design from the other helmet, just made it black, or maybe because I know what they wanted to do was, I think on this one they had the numbers, kind of how like the Washington football team had numbers on the side.
Yeah.
Did the black helmet have the numbers? Why not number on one side, W on the other side? Pittsburgh does it. Well, Pittsburgh don't even have a symbol on one side. So I mean, it would be interesting to see if they would if they had done that. But overall, Washington football team, now the Washington Commanders, it's going to be fun. They got a lot going on. They're trying to get a new stadium. And the stadium they said that they will have a new stadium by 2027. That's what the president, Jason Wright, said.
And there's a lot of talk that it could be here in Richmond.
I've heard Richmond. I've heard Loudoun County. But a lot of DC, the mayor of DC came out and said she's going to do whatever it takes to get them back in DC where they belong, which makes sense. I mean, if you're going to be the Washington football team, you might as well be in.
We've been through DC. Remember, the GPS took us the wrong damn way.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
There's no place to put a stadium there.
Well, I mean, there was one. I don't know if RFK is right in the middle, but I remember we drive past that one old stadium that was in the middle. I can't remember what we were driving past. I don't know if they're gonna have any parking out there.
My seat like this, like
yeah.
Darrell,
take a duck, brother, duck.
Don't stop.
So yeah, Washington football team down to Washington Commanders. I'm just intrigued to see. For
me, it was a dumb move. They should have, if if they weren't going to do something of, how do I want to say it, value or listen to their fans, I know they'll change if they start winning. Then they should have just left it the Washington football team.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm still disappointed because I told you before, when you have, and he even said it in the hype video for we're close to making the thing. He said it. He said 85% of the fans wanted the Red Wolves. 85% of the fans that sent in letters,
and he didn't want to
wanted the Red Wolves. That's a pretty big number. It's a pretty big number. 85%. And you was like, nah, I got something better than that.
Now this is me being me, but that's what, like 85 people.
You're a slick one, Mr. Quimby. You're a slick one. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Washington football team are now the Washington Commanders. That's going to take me at least 2 years to get used to. It took me like
I
at
was
least
thinking it because hell, you still mess up the.
I'm still messing up the
Oakland
San Diego Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. I mean, that's been happening for a hot minute now. So and the St. Louis Rams.
You can slip up and say the St. Louis Rams.
I said that the other day. It's crazy. St. Louis Rams, right then and there. St. Louis probably hates me for it. All right, next topic in our top stories. Man, we got another doozy on this one. The Brian Flores situation is, Brian Flores has a lawsuit out against the NFL, and man, it is saying some very, very interesting things, Jay. Some things that I know the NFL don't want out, and they've done their best to try to defend themselves.
But he's suing for the truth. That's the thing.
Right.
How many coaches of color have we seen hired since Black Monday?
None. And it's crazy because
there's so many great coordinators, and we've seen people that, in my mind, don't deserve to be head coaches yet. And they're getting the first shot. I can't even say the dude from the defensive coordinator from the Colts. That's the Bears.
Matt Ephraim. I think it's Ephraim.
Yeah,
Matt Ephraim. It's crazy to me because
2 years he's proven himself. 2 years he's had a decent defense. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, man, and it really bothers me because we all felt when once Flores got fired that it was ridiculous. Like, you take a team that was 1-7 out of the playoff hunt, just out of it. We're talking about a top 5 pick. You go on a 7-game winning streak. You finish the season with I believe a winning record, if I'm not mistaken. I think they did. Yeah, they finished with a winning record. And you tell me that you fire the coach that brought him back from that. That takes a lot. Then you hear all these allegations of them saying that he said he got offered $100,000 to lose games. I don't know if that was per game, but if that's per game, that's ridiculous.
It's per game.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
But
absolutely.
It shows the integrity of Flores. It really does, because you brought me in to be a coach. I'm not going to lose on purpose. I'm here to win. And for him not to have a job yet is blasphemous. It really is.
I know what I'm about to say is going to sound like me tugging on the race lines or whatever, but let's be honest. Until a white coach a white coach comes out and says the same thing, I don't know if it's going to have the same strength, because Hugh Jackson, who, on that 0-16 Browns team, said they, did the same thing. They
because they wanted that number 1 overall pick.
Because they wanted the number 1 overall pick. They offered him more. They offered him incentives to lose. Like, they offered him incentives to lose.
And I'm not trying to say anything against him, but I mean, that tells you his integrity. Because if you bring me in to coach men to play a sport and win, and you offer me incentives, and I pick the incentives over my players, I am not worthy to be head coach.
And it's mind blowing to me, all for the number 1 pick of the draft. Not even a guarantee. Now, if you said, okay, look, you lose all these games and you're going to get Tom Brady. All right. I know that Tom Brady's going to be I know Tom Brady's going to change the franchise. Big
You
time.
know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting, but you're going on a whim and saying that it's wrong all the way around. But it just drives me insane that this happened, that this was okay, and if it's only happened under black coaches, that's a problem. Because I mean, the only two right now that have come out have been black coaches.
Well,
Now a lot of
right.
black coaches are starting to stand up and say, "Hey, look, man, this has happened." Terrell Austin had his issues with was
Right.
it Detroit
It
that
was Detroit.
interviewed him? Yeah, they gave him the little crappy interview.
But
And
I guess for me, and then we have the Jaguars. Byron Leftwich. I'm done. I'm pulling my name from it. I don't want anything to do with it. And that shows his integrity. That's one thing I absolutely love about the BA hiring in Tampa. He was he don't care skin color, gender. Don't if you can teach and you can help us win, you're the best person for the damn job. And I love BA for that. I don't care. Anybody says anything wrong, we can meet somewhere and I'll bust your teeth out.
yeah, I mean, I look at it and it's just, like I said, all the scenarios right now just drive me nuts because you would think that with all the pressure that they're starting to get owners, that they would, maybe, all right, we got, maybe it'll take a deeper look. And they've had 9 openings. They lost 2 black coaches, 2 minority coaches. We'll just go that way. 2 minority coaches gone, and not one has been hired back with 3 openings to go.
No, but see, then you have like Raheem Morris, and I didn't like him when he was at Tampa, but I gotta say, he did his thing in Atlanta, has an interim coach. He did great. Now he's with the Rams. He's doing amazing there. He deserves another shot.
Right.
Bellamy.
He just deserves a shot. He just deserves a shot. It's crazy.
Both the coaches for Tampa Bay, offensive and defensive coordinators, Brian Flores. You got Lynn. I mean, Lynn did great as a head coach for the Chargers, and they're like, "Thanks, bro. Gotta go." Yeah,
I mean, like he was the one that helped bring Herbert along in that first season. And he didn't even get a second chance. And then what bothered me the most about that situation was they were injured. Like I think they had a really good record a decent record the year before,
right?
And then they were banged up that year.
Like
and
their entire secondary was in one room.
But they were hurt. Their defense was pretty much out.
Yeah,
I mean, so the lawsuit is just, to me, Jay, is like, it needed to happen to an extent. Like, and now we're going to get a lot of exposure, and the NFL is going to do whatever it takes, and I mean whatever it takes to keep this hidden.
I'm not going to disagree at all, but I mean, it's really bringing some of the stuff that people don't like to talk about to the forefront because, for me, if I hire a black head coach or minority.
Mm-hmm.
From another team, and they give that other team a 3rd round compensatory pick.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you how petty and how much. I mean, you remember when we worked at Walmart? The old, because how pissed was I for you when I got promoted before you did?
You were pretty upset.
Because you deserved it. You busted your ass. I had moved there, but I don't see any skin color. I wasn't raised that way, but that is some bullshit.
And like I said, I mean, and that's just, unfortunately, it's a tough conversation. But I'm glad that this is happening to an extent.
I'm glad it's happening, but is anything going to come of it? Or
that's the thing. I mean,
is
how
Flores
long
going to get blackballed and not?
I mean, look, I know Kaepernick had his moments, but when stuff like this happens, you say, "Well, man, Kaepernick was right." You to an extent. Not everything Kaepernick does, in my opinion, was like the greatest, or maybe didn't do it in
the proper way to do it.
Maybe in certain aspects, but. You see stuff like this is like the things that he was fighting for to an extent, not just, police brutality and other things he was fighting for in the NFL. You see it right there. And now Flores and the crew are like, look, this is what's happening to us, man. We're black coaches not getting opportunity.
What does it say about
85% black?
The greatest head coach of all time and his bullshit text messages.
That's crazy. He was trying to congratulate the other guy. He said, "You noticed me, right?" Oh shoot, I'm sorry, man. And that's what I'm saying. So it had already been out there. Like he hadn't even interviewed yet.
It just makes me angry to the fact of, it's not about what you can do; it's about who you know, and that's just some bull. It's wrong on so many levels that we should be past this point.
We should be. Our man Dwayne Worrell. It has been a while, Dwayne, man. Good to have you back on. What's up, guys? Long time no see. Good to hope all is well, Dwayne. And Dwayne also said black coaches have been getting shafted in head coach positions. Look at what the Bears did with Lovie Smith after going 10-6 and gets fired. He's another example. Lovie's a huge example.
Now, see, I agree. Lovie is an example, but for me, when Lovie was with us, the Tampa 2 in this era is an obsolete defense. It very much, because there's so many openings if they run zone. I think Drew Brees had the most passing yards he ever had in a game against the Tampa 2 with Lovie Smith. But, that Lovie, wow, this is weird. Lovie loved running the Tampa 2. He even brought it to Illinois when he was there, and they were getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, the record speaks for itself, but you also got to be able to adapt to stay relevant in the league.
Yeah, I look at it. Lovie was a tough one. The Caldwell one is the one that bothers me the most. Go, especially for an organization that don't win. Right. You don't win, and the last time you've been with the playoffs was with the guy that got you the back-to-back playoffs.
And then you fire his ass.
And then you fire him. And then you go on a 3 or 4 year binger, and you're still currently on that, on that bad streak. So
a lot of that's got to do with the owner's daughter, because she took over a lot of what was going on. Because I know a couple Lions fans that live up where my parents live, and they get so mad because she was sticking her nose in football business and doesn't have a damn clue.
God, that's not good.
And she kind of stepped out last year. And, I like Campbell as a coach. Campbell, the fire he brings, he loves his players more than he loves his paycheck, is what I think. So
yeah, and that's I'm telling you, man, I just hope that it gets better. The more and more I see it, it's just like you want it to be better. But I wanted to get to a point where we don't have to give 3rd round picks. And I'm not saying every coach in the league should be black. That's not the case. We just you want equal playing field.
The opportunity should be there for coaches.
I will give credit on this. They did hire a couple of minority GMs over the last couple of weeks, which is that's a really nice step. Now the Bears one surprised me because I thought, okay, minority GM, a GM, minority GM, he's more likely going to hire a minority coach, maybe give him a shot. And I said, this is probably going to nope. And then it comes up with somebody out of left field.
Right.
Oh man, our man Dwayne says he's doing good, bro. Building submarines. That's gotta be nice. That's gotta be
very nice, bro.
Our man Dwayne.
But for me, I guess the thing of it is you're seeing a lot of ex-players, which gives me, I love this. Like Aaron Glenn came in, he's a defensive back coach. He's going to get an opportunity as a DC, and that's amazing. Adrian Wilson. He was one of the hardest hitting safeties for when he was with the Cardinals. And I believe, isn't he a GM now?
Well, that's the thing. Leftwich wanted Wilson to be the GM
for the
in Jacksonville. And, that's what they were pushing for. And I mean, and Shah Khan being the only minority owner in the league,
he should have been
I really expected a little bit more from him on this. But then we've seen how he's run this franchise since he's taken over. Now, so it hasn't been the best. Hasn't been the best.
Hold on. I gotta, because I remember reading the name of the Jaguars GM, and what is it?
It's Tyler Boyke.
Tyler Blackie.
Well, as close as it's going to get.
No. I mean, look,
As close as Blackie. There he
Trent
is.
Blackie.
Trent Blackie is as close as he's going to get right there, buddy.
I had to do that for my
get.
little brother because he loves that Key and Peele substitute teacher thing.
Oh yeah, Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron. He said Jillaquin. You mean Jacqueline? Oh,
you go down to O'Shawn Shannessey's office.
Immediately. Now, staying on the topic of the NFL head coaches.
Sorry.
No, you good, brother. You good. So this is what we look like right now. So the Bears, we were talking about it a little bit. Matt Eberflus. I'm not even going to try to destroy that. Matt is the coach for the Bears. Nathaniel Hackett, former Packers OC, now the head coach for the Broncos. I think we all know why that's the deal.
Oh yeah,
we all know what the plans are there. The Giants with Brian DeBallo. And Brian DeBallo is probably one of the hottest candidates coming out. So I'm not mad with him getting the job.
The Raiders one is bullshit, though.
Which one?
The Raiders.
Yeah, so this Raiders one is kind of a surprise. The Josh McDaniels one kind of threw me because we all felt that he would be the guy, after him backing out of the coach job and always reneging on certain ones. I thought he was going to just wait till Bill says I'm done. I guess he realized Bill ain't going nowhere no time soon. And so McDaniel said, I got to give me another shot while I got it. And now he's going to be the Raiders head coach.
I just think that's stupid for the Davis family because you know what you got yes, he got them to a playoff, but then they draft that Lynch guy in the first round, and he doesn't do a damn thing, and you pay the other dude ass ton of money, and he's like, peace.
Yeah, and then, so I'm intrigued to see what happens there. I know they also got another guy from New England as the guy from, I think it's like the second in command. He's like the new GM there. So the Raiders, I'm still mad that I don't want to destroy his last name, but the intern coach, I know it's Richie. Rich was his first name.
Bacchus.
I think it was like Belasco. I don't want to destroy. I'm going to just let it go. But I felt like he deserved a shot. He did get an interview with Jacksonville, but I feel like that might have been a smokescreen just to get the minority candidate out of the way or just to show a little bit more. That's just my opinion on that. But
he held that locker room together. He had the respect of the players. And, I mean, if he goes somewhere, them players are going to want to go play for him.
He look a lot of I don't think you can hear one Raider player that's on that team or currently on the roster say anything bad about him. First interim head coach to ever make the playoffs. So much love to him. I hope he gets his shot. He did a really good job in a very rough situation out there in Vegas. Next one, the Vikings with Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell is the OC for the Rams, and he will now be the lead man in Minnesota. And the one thing that I heard from a friend of mine's, he was like, and actually, I think it might have been James in the group. Might have been James when we were talking part of our legacy team. He was saying the guys never call plays. It's all been McVay calling the plays. Yeah. He's just the OC. But that's the same thing with Nathaniel Hackett. He doesn't call the plays. That's on LaFleur. So is that these guys are getting shots. We're going to see how they're play calling.
I'm sure it makes you happy because, I mean, with the Vikings being in your division.
I'm excited about that. I'm not mad at all. Then you got Doug Peterson. Now, look, I'm not going to lie to you. If Brian Leftwich wasn't the guy that everybody in their minds thought was going to go to Jacksonville, what made sense to go to Jacksonville, I would not be upset with this Doug Peterson hire at all. And to be honest with you, I think it's a really good hire for Jacksonville. It really is a good hire. It should have been Leftwich, but if you're going to go with someone that's not Leftwich, this is a really good hire. I mean, the guy is a Super Bowl champion. He does know how to win, and we're gonna see how he handles with Trevor Lawrence.
But knowing Leftwich, besides the fact he didn't get the GM he wanted to work with, there's got to be more reason than why he pulled his hat out of that. But, Doug Peterson is got good results, but with old players, I don't like the way Peterson can't draft to save his life.
Right.
I mean, do you remember, wasn't Peterson part of that group that took Jalen Reagor over Jefferson?
Yes. No. Whoa. Yes. Because he would have gotten, Peterson he only took a year off before he's back in the saddle. So yeah. He was
So,
definitely
I
part of
mean,
that.
do I need to say anything else?
Well, let's hope that he does better there. I mean, Trevor Lawrence seems to be happy, but we shall see. And then we got 3 teams left: the Dolphins, the Saints, and the Texans. I know with the Dolphins, like Kellen Moore has been the big name, and I forgot who the other guy was. It might have been McConnell, but I feel like that's going to be Kellen Moore's job in
But
Miami.
I think the Dolphins are going to stay coachless for a while until the NFL does their research on this Flores stuff.
Yeah, because this is a bad deal. That Flores situation is a really bad deal. So where it gets interesting, the Saints, I think the Saints is going to be if anybody hires a minority coach, is going to be the Saints. I feel like it'll be either Leftwich or Benemy. I think Benemy is starting to come out as a guy now there. If it's going to be one of the teams, it's going to be them.
I think it'll be Benemy because I don't think Leftwich will go and want to play against BA in the same division.
That's also true. That's also true. And then the Texans. Now I'm coming back on screen for the Texans one. I gotta come back on screen for the Texans one because Jay, I'm telling you right now, Josh McDowell is going to be the head coach of this team.
Oh my God, I've heard that.
I feel like I had to say this on the Josh McDowell is going to be the head coach of this team. They interviewed him last year and they loved the interview. But they didn't hire him because he didn't have head coaching experience. Now, I don't know if he's had head coaching experience on any level in this last year. I don't know if he went and said, oh, man, went and did some high school football and coached there for a little bit. Look, we've seen it in baseball where, they bring guys off the street that were catchers and say, hey, you're the manager now. We've seen it. We have seen it.
Baseball is completely different.
It's a different dream. It's a different dream. So, would I be surprised if Josh McDowell can go out there and do good things? No, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. I mean, Josh McDowell has been on 500 teams, and he knows how to play the position. But he is going to be the head coach of the Houston Texans.
He was
a
backup for like 5 years to Drew Brees. So he was learning from Peyton.
Exactly.
So for me, but I that one, the Texans one, dealing with the Watson situation. I mean, I think they have something in David Mills. I really do. He played great.
He did.
But
at home.
Now,
yeah. But that comes with time, though. That comes with time.
It just, there's too many questions there for the Texans. I mean, who wants to coach a shitty team?
Well, here's the thing. Flores is in that final 3.
Flores better get the job. That's all I'm saying.
Flores is in that final 3, but a lot of people think that if they hire Flores, that's going to be to try to keep Deshaun Watson there, because everybody was tying them two together. But if you're the Texans, do you want 2 lawsuits? Do you want to be dealing with 2 lawsuits at the time? Because you're already dealing with the whole situation.
I would definitely love to send. I would be down with sending this year's first and next year's first for Watson's services.
Jesus, that would be amazing. Real quick, Adam Schefter has tweeted that Anthony Lynn has been hired as an assistant head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. So congratulations to Anthony Lynn getting a new job. I think that's going to be a great spot for him. Because that's going to, in my opinion, if things get on the right track, it'll be a great place for him to learn with Shanahan and maybe take him to another spot. We'll know. Well, I mean, he's already a great coach, but to be there,
he was a great coach, but he had problems in the running game. So if he can learn that zone blocking scheme, he's going to be dangerous.
He's going to be dangerous. All right, so swinging to the next one. We're going to talk end of an era. We talked about so many great quarterbacks have said this is it in the last couple of years. Drew Brees, Eli Manning, Roethlisberger, Brady, Phillip Rivers. We've seen quite a few of quarterbacks that we grew up with. Let's be honest with you. In the last 20 years, in our adulthood, guys that we've seen, run the NFL are now gone. So what are your thoughts on just, this new era of quarterbacks and the end of the era?
I gotta say, I'm excited. And if you 2 years ago, if you'd asked me and we had these people, I would have been worried for what the outlook of the NFL was. But what we've seen in the playoffs from these young guns, I'm pumped.
But look, the AFC is stacked. I was talking about this with somebody. The AFC is stacked with young quarterback talent. I feel like they're going to be battling for the next, 10 years with Herbert and Mahomes and Allen
I'll
and
say they'll be
Darrell.
battling, but I think we have in the next 3 years very intriguing prospects coming out, and if they get with the right system in the NFC, they're going to be dangerous. Like
the NFC is going to need a injection of this young talent. The AFC right now, if they had an AFC commissioner, let's just say that, he would be a very happy person right now because he'd be like, "Yeah, well, I got all the young guns, I got all the young talent on my side of things."
Did you see my quarterback that I absolutely love that I've been talking about all year is having a great practice time right now with the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that are you talking about Willis?
Oh yeah.
They're talking about Willis. Willis is what you talking about, Willis? Willis is having a really good it started off a little rough at the beginning of the week, but he's been killing it since then. But I'm gonna tell you the guy that everybody's falling in love with, and that's that offensive lineman from Northern Iowa. My man been out here, he's been out here trucking people.
Well, but
it's been
we
rough.
always find that one small school offense since Ali Marpet came out. Every year now we've had that offensive lineman from a small school that just dominates the house, because it was Alex Kappa and then Quintez from Minnesota last year, or Coldwater, whatever it was, Minnesota. That man, I watched him do a running play and he laid on 2 opposing players and just laid there. He's like, "Get me out, bro."
and he got a big boy touchdown. And he got a big boy touchdown this year.
So, I mean, yeah, maybe the Raiders, or not the Raiders, the Packers will get him.
Yeah, we don't need. I mean, look, I ain't gonna complain about offensive linemen. We gotta have a quarterback that can, handle that. But we'll see.
It'll give Jordan Love another 20-40 seconds to decide who to throw the interception to.
No, well, there's nothing. Look, I'm mentally prepared to see what a year under Jordan Love will be, just in case. Just in case. But we'll see. But looking at this end of an era for quarterbacks, it is a little bit of a sad time. I never thought I would see so much love for Brady. I will say that, because I thought a lot of people would be like, "Oh man, bump that Tom Brady, whatever, blah 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 blah." But there was a lot of love for Tom Brady.
But he went to, 2015 we're the we picked number 1.
Right.
We build a team up. He come down, brought in some piece, and he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
I don't like him, but I love that ring.
I bet you do. That's how I felt about LeBron. That's how I felt. Look, all right, but thanks for the rings, brother. Thanks for the rings. But yeah, it's going to be sad times. It's an end of an era in the NFL, so we'll see how things go.
What do you think the Madden rankings might look like next year
for
the quarterbacks, man?
It's going to be crazy. They're going to be high. But I don't know. Madden's weird on their rankings, man. I don't like how they rank certain players. It feel like they don't put full details and attention to detail into certain players. So I'm like, ain't no telling. But those guys in the AFC, they are going to be 90 plus at least. At least they should be. But we'll see. I think Allen will probably be a 99 or a 98. Mahomes will definitely. I think he's already in the 99 club. I think Herbert will probably be like 93, 94.
Herbert's going to go up.
If Joe Burrow wins a Super Bowl, he'll be like a 95, 96. It's going to be.
I'm impressed with Burrow. And then you still got Lamar Jackson.
You still got Lamar Jackson. And now Burrow did say, I think I saw something other. He said he always felt like he was Ohio State. I saw he was giving love to Ohio State. He said, no matter what, I'm always Ohio State.
Well, that's because Shaq was like, he went to LSU, so you Ohio State fans need to shut up. And Burrow stood up for it. And, hey, we got a quarterback.
It counts, brother. It counts. All right. Now, y'all, we're going to head over and we're going to do our NFL predictions. Me and Jay have our predictions here. We're going to go over and give you our our MVP, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, defensive rookie, offensive rookie, and coach of the year and comeback player. That's what we normally do here. So this is going to be a fun one here. So Jay, I guess we'll start off with let's do comeback player of the year. I think most people are probably thinking Dak or Burrow. Who do you have for your comeback player?
Well, I mean, for me, up until last week, it was Dak.
Right.
Because he came back, he played really good. That was a gruesome injury. But Burrow destroyed his knee, and he's playing in the Super Bowl. It's Burrow.
Yeah, man, I got to go with Burrow. It's hard not to. Like, people love him. Like, you know how, like, you get a quarterback and he's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. It almost had that Mahomes vibe until he just started winning all the time. Everybody was in love with Mahomes. Like, now a little bit, people are like, oh, I'm glad he's losing or whatever. But he gives you that vibe, like he's just a guy everybody loves. Like,
I think Mahomes, where he got kind of is his posse and his special ed brother.
Yeah, I'm glad he kind of keep that separate. I really am glad that he doesn't, like, obviously that's his brother and that's his wife, which would be a little bit suspect to me, but I'll let that fly. I'm not gonna go too deep into that one. But I look at it and say to myself, like, he doesn't really, like, obviously he's gonna defend him, but he doesn't, like, go full blown into defending them. I mean, that's the wife, the mother of my child and my brother, but his brother just, I don't know what he'd be doing, man.
As Darrell would say, he's wilding.
He wilding. Yeah, he tripping. He tripping. He definitely tripping. I'm gonna go with Burrow on that one for our comeback player of the year. Coach of the year. Who you got for coach of the year?
Zach Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy because they had a bad record last season. My heart would, if Green Bay had made it to the Super Bowl, I probably say, yeah, it's finally the Flores do. But no, so that's not happening. Mike Vrabel is my guy because even though they lost in the first round, they had played 90 players this year. They said it's the most ever that a coach had, and they still got the 1 seed under the circumstances.
Well, and their secondary was just a carousel of people.
Yeah, and then they had running backs galore coming in. They had Adrian Peterson. They had Foreman. Foreman actually played really well. Uh-huh. Hilliard had a nice little run. They finally got Henry back in that playoff game. I still think with AJ Brown being hurt most of the season, Julio being hurt most of the season, and they were still finding ways to win games. And I'm like, I don't know how. I kept saying to myself, I don't know how Tennessee is the 1 seed, but they are. Even though I picked them to go, I think I had them as a 2 seed at the beginning of the season. So
Jeffrey Simmons, I'm proud, the defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting the love he deserves. He is just as disruptive as a Vita or Aaron Darnold. And
that's big praise right there. That's big praise right there. For me, I'm gonna go with Vrabel. I would have went with. I'm not even gonna mention it. I'm going with Vrabel. Next one. Let's do defensive rookie of the year.
Oh, Micah Parsons, man.
Yeah, I don't think this is close. I got Parsons on this one too. He was just
complete player, man. He's all over the field. He is, he's the face of that defense now. Everybody's like, what about Diggs? Well, Diggs gave up 1,000 yards receiving. So it was either for him, it was get the pick or let him go get a tutty.
Exactly. And a lot of tutties. And a lot of tutties at that. So, but I'm going Parsons. That's an easy one for me. Offensive rookie of the year.
See, that one's difficult because, like, you got Waddle that set the rookie receptions record down with in Miami. Mm-hmm. But Jamar Chase, man, he's a whole different specimen of wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm also going with Chase on that one. And Waddle is a tough one because Waddle, under the circumstances, had a really good season. Really good season down there in Miami. And I just hope that whatever Miami's trying to figure out down there, I hope they figure it out because they got too much talent. He is too talented to get. He's gonna give you Terry McLaurin vibes down there, getting wasted, and you don't need none of that.
It makes you wonder where is that Devontae Smith guy that won the Heisman?
Oh well, Devontae didn't have a terrible season, but I thought he actually had a pretty solid season, depending on
but the W's are what count.
This is true. But they made the playoffs, though. They made the playoffs.
In the NFC least.
This is also true. Oh, man. All right. So, next one. Let's go to Defensive Player of the Year.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, also going TJ Watt on this one. I mean, it's almost a no-brainer. TJ Watt was just phenomenal. And he missed 2 games, and he almost got the I think he tied the sack record, but he didn't break it. Yeah, he didn't break it. And, just amazing what he did all season for
He's
Pittsburgh.
Worth every penny that they paid him.
Every penny. Remember that.
Now he's got to get 20 sacks one more time so he can tell JJ, this is for you.
Right. Take that, brother, because I'm the best Watt. Boom, boom. I'm the best Watt. Boom, boom. Okay. So, yeah, also going with TJ. Offensive Player of the Year.
Jonathan Taylor.
We agree on a lot of these. I'm also going Jonathan
really?
Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, usually I always felt like the MVP goes to a quarterback, but the offensive player goes to the best overall player that's outside of a quarterback, in my opinion. Unless the quarterback race is so tight for MVP, and sometimes they give it to the other person.
He really was all of what Indianapolis had offensively, because Wentz sucks.
It's crazy. Just imagine. I just know this is off the kilter a little bit. Just imagine if Derrick Henry played all the games, and Derrick Henry still led the league in rushing for 3 weeks after he was hurt.
I believe Derrick Henry would have broke the season rushing record
easily,
and possibly the touchdown record.
I would not have been surprised. He was on pace for probably one of the greatest seasons for a running back of all time. Plus with an extra game, and I think he probably would have got it before the game was before the extra game hit. But yeah, I mean, much love to Jonathan Taylor, because without Jonathan Taylor, that coach team wouldn't.
Kudos to him for breaking that Wisconsin curse, bro.
Yeah, because it's always been a bad deal there. Wisconsin running backs, the Monty Balls, the Ron Danes, the
Clay.
Tyrone Wheatley? Tyrone Wheatley was Michigan.
Clay.
Yeah, they've had a lot of running backs there, and it just hasn't worked out. So, all right, last one. MVP.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I guess.
It's hard because a lot of people, me being the fan I am, I want to say Tom Brady. He only threw 9 interceptions. He threw more yards, more touchdowns, but 4 picks. For Aaron Rodgers, 4 picks.
4 picks. 4
without
picks
Bakhtiari.
Yeah, and that's why I say if there was an offensive line of the year, I would give it to my boys, only because all year long they mismatched all year long. Bakhtiari didn't even play in this last game. He only played 1 game this season. We lost Elton Jenkins, who was an All-Pro / Pro Bowler on the line. Wells was banged up for most of the season. Trey Turner was hurt most of the season. Ryan came in and did really good things for us. So
your offensive line coach, he needs a pay raise. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they did make him an offensive coordinator, so I'm glad that happened. Okay. And he deserved it. He deserved every bit. I'm glad that he got that pay raise, because they were trying to take him. I know that Hatchett tried to get him in Denver to be the OC. And then the Bears also went after him. And I'm glad that he decided to stay with Green Bay, because he is a phenomenal offensive line coach. And he another great year like that, and he'll probably be a head coach next year. Wouldn't surprise me. All right, y'all. Those are our NFL honors.
We got to stop agreeing on shit, man.
Wait,
hold on. What is it? You say great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike. That's what I say. Great minds think alike. Those are our awards. That's who our predictions are for this bad boy. You already know what's coming, don't you? I didn't even get a chance to announce it. He already knew what was coming. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. Video. Nope, it's time for.
And now it's time for Cash or Trash.
I love it. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Every time I talk Jacksonville on the show, I just, even he's not there, just toss it in there just because. All right, everybody. We got a couple of questions.
I'm bus driving your ass right now.
I bet you are. Why would you didn't have to bring it up.
I didn't bring it up. I'm just saying, because last couple times it's been Jay.
No, last couple times that might have been you. I take the L on this one. That was me. But I didn't play the whole thing. It was only a snippet. So
It's enough to bring back the PTSD.
all right, y'all.
We got his thumbs.
All right, y'all. We got 3 cash or trash topics that we're gonna talk about here. First one that we got, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, just in general. But have we truly, Jay, cash or trash, that we've truly seen the last of Tom Brady in the NFL as a player?
Yeah, cash. I mean, he just forfeited, I think, $11 million today.
Yeah,
for a bonus. And I know it's not about the money, but yeah, I mean, we might see him possibly be a coordinator, but I just think his kids are getting to that age where it's time for them to grow up. They're getting older, and he wants to spend time with his family. And Giselle has put her career on the back burner.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things that I'm going to cash it too, but I think I don't know if there's a lot of teams he would come back for. If he ever did make the decision, it would be you guys, of course. And then I think the only other team would be New England. I think if New England got in a situation with Jones out for the year and they begged him to come back for that season, I don't know if he'll do it, but I think those are the only teams that I ever like.
You notice neither one of us blinked an eye at picking Mac Jones for offensive rookie of the year.
I wanted to. I really, if he had continued, Jay, that when they went on that 7-game streak, after that 7-game streak, he went on a little funk. He won a game here, he lost a game, had a bad game there. If he'd have kept it consistent, even if he wasn't winning games, but he just kept it consistent after that, I probably would have won with Mac Jones. Mac Jones had a really good year. Nobody expected him to be the best quarterback out of that draft.
He did have a good year, but for me, I mean, Jamar Chase, the way he plays, he don't have the size, but he's got the talent and speed of Megatron.
Exactly, and he's going to be special. Just remember when people were making fun of him for dropping passes? Who's got the last laugh now? Bengals fans are cracking up. Yes. I remember when people were trashing him, man. I mean, I don't know if I said too much about him. I don't think I said anything bad. I would have remembered that, but I mean, it was just preseason. You got to give the guy time. He's getting used to the league. He hasn't played in a year.
And I mean, if you've ever felt a college ball compared to an NFL ball,
completely different dream.
Difference.
Completely different dream. Completely different dream.
It's like my head versus your head.
Oh, hilarious. Next one, cash or trash. We will see a minority candidate get hired with those 3 teams we were talking about. I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but cash or trash it actually happens.
Cash it, because if it don't happen, this coming year in the NFL is going to be, it's not going to be a good time to be in the NFL at all.
I'm going to trash it. I really am. I think New Orleans is still, if it does happen, New Orleans is going to be the one that does it. But I mean, Miami's definitely not doing it. And if they do it, I wouldn't trust them because I just feel like
I don't think Miami will. I think that the Texans will get Flores, and then I think that we're going to get a surprise from the Saints. I think they will try to lure Benemy away from the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would be intrigued to see if they actually, make that. I hope they do, man. I just want the man to get a shot. If he does miserable and he's not great, okay, so be it. But I give him a shot. I mean, you can't.
His offensive genius with those weapons. Can you imagine?
The AFC Championship game 4 times. He's been to two Super Bowls in the last couple. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, 4 AFC Championship games. I mean, the guy has been around one of the greatest minds in football. And you can't tell me, give him a shot. I mean, if all these other people, he's had 2 offensive coordinators get shots, Doug Peterson, and he's also had Nagy. And Peterson won a Super Bowl. So
and Nagy,
give the man a shot. All right, last one. This is an interesting one. This is the near and dear to me and Jay's heart. Cash or trash on the Major League Baseball season starting on time.
They've repicked up talks. We know that we're getting more games for AAA, which I think helps for the development of the players. And plus, for your players that are down there, they get more coin in their pocket.
Right.
And for me, I'm gonna cash it. They're gonna start on time. The the players get ungodly amounts of money compared. I mean, I know they play a lot of games. It's a huge chunk of the year, but Jesus, calm down, guys.
Yeah, man, I'm intrigued to see what goes with this because I'm gonna cash it. It does start on time, but you know, I was surprised there was even a lockout to an extent because I was like, man, Major League players make money, like they're getting paid. I don't know if it was for probably meant more for other reasons, but I'm like, these guys get like 10-year, $400 million contracts. I'm like, bro, like the best players. I mean, like NFL players would cry for the. I mean, they would.
I agree. I mean, the contracts are insane, and you know, it's not really fair for like our teams that are small market teams to have a damn chance in hell because we're talking about we're gonna have to send Jose Ramirez packing because we can't give him the money that he's worth.
Right.
But look what happened to Lindor.
Exactly. They've been trying to trade Lindor. I tried to trade Lindor for like 2 years. It was going on for at least a strong 2 years.
Well, and then look what happened. The Mets and he sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't good at all. Definitely wasn't good at all. All right, everybody. That was Cash or Trash here on the Legacy Maker Sports Podcast. And that is the end of the episode, man. Like, look, we really appreciate everybody for tuning in, listening. Dwayne, good to hear from you. G, Becca, Pops, you know, everybody that popped in.
Missed you, Dwayne. Been a hot minute since.
Yeah, man. Good. Hey, man, you keep building those subs, baby. That's cool, bro.
Absolutely.
That's cool. That's a really good deal. Really good deal. We we'll be back here Super Bowl week. We got Legacy on Fire next week. Jay, I don't know if you want to go after. You want to go after Super Bowl week to kind of discuss everything for our next show.
We'll go after Super Bowl week for a show for us, but I'll be in Michigan for our next Legacy on Fire.
That's right. Yeah. So you will be in Michigan as for next week.
I gotta check on Pops and hey, I got a ride along. She's flying with me. My oldest daughter.
Have some good times. Get a chance to spend time with Pops and everything. So it's going to be a good deal. Like I said, we'll be back. So just be ready for Legacy on Fire next week, next Wednesday, our Super Bowl edition of Legacy on Fire.
One more thing. 43 days until I get to marry my other best friend.
Whoop, whoop.
And, partner. She's not really partner in crime like you are because I get in trouble when I do some dumb shit. But love her. She's just such a beautiful person. Been very blessed in the people I got between you and her, making sure that Ding Dong here doesn't fuck anything up. What?
Well,
I love my people.
Well, we love you too, brother. Hashtag the tribe, ladies and gentlemen. All right, everybody. I'm your man, Darrell Owens. That's Mr. Jeremiah Quimby. This has been episode 290 of the Legacy Maker Sports Podcast. Until next time.
God bless.
Oh, go ahead, say it. Look, go ahead, say it. God bless. Go ahead.
God bless and love your people because you never know what tomorrow brings.
This is also true. Take care, y'all. Y'all be safe.